Oh, hello there. Yes, well, it has become Thursday and it has become very damp, which no doubt is going to be my story of my life a bit later on today. Anyway, leaving that aside, yesterday, don't even want to go there with Rishi Sunak making various anti-trans comments, or maybe not in the House of Commons. Such things, I think, are rather trifling, especially given the Labour Party's front bench record on minorities. Certain minorities, that is. If you're not the right sort of person, you can be thrown under a bus. But there's interesting kind of rumblings in the GC community with shouts of splitter and traitors and other such Monty Python-esque rhetoric. But all of this stuff, right, is basically centred around Debbie Hayden, who you may recall often appears on GB News, and as the token representative person who isn't representative of anything at all, because Debbie can be relied upon to come out with some reasonably anti-trans stuff, which of course is going to be desperately acceptable to the likes of Andrew Doyle and the rest of them there. After all, they like black people that don't mind racism and gay people that don't mind homophobia, so obviously Debbie fits into that kind of category. They won't actually get actual trans people on. She is mainly there, I think, effectively to argue with Peter Tatchell, as far as I can make out. I think that's as far as that one goes. But what's happened over this particular individual is that you now have people like Posie Parker, Kelly J, who has decided that all trans people, trans males, as she would think of them in particular, must be beyond the pale, and she will brook no compromise with this. We end up with one of those kind of like Republicans in name only style things going on, a rhino, except in this case I guess she would call it a pino or something similar, because she has humour on that kind of level. But this has produced an interesting split, because Andrew Doyle, who was having this particular individual on their show on a reasonably regular basis, has found himself kind of hounded out, despite the fact that he's a gay man. What's that? A gay man being hounded out by anti-trans law? Yes, indeed, because you need to be purer than that, Mr. Doyle, don't you? And, it's left some of them in a real quandary, because some of the other big names out there, like James Esses and Glinner and Kathleen Stock, have found themselves in, I would imagine, a bit of a quandary, because when you think about Posie Parker, she has a very neat business model, which is basically she can be as obnoxious as she likes, and her fans that buy her produce indeed keep her business afloat, will brook nothing more than a kind of uber ultra Nazi style take on her views. That's what they want. That's the business model. Now, for the rest of them, the business model has to involve a level of reasonableness. So we've had actually the shocking stuff of Graham Linehan being a non-abusive human being occasionally in his tweets, saying, "Oh, Debbie's a friend of mine, and I think we need to be all right with that." And it just sounds rubbish, obviously, because you need to be a hard-line person with these people, otherwise they'll take a mile, and all that kind of thing. And we end up with, as well, with James Esses, who no doubt is hacking his pants with the idea he might actually have to get a regular job if nobody will employ him. So we end up with these various people whose business is effectively being media figures, and the danger that they might become contaminated by somebody who is really out there. Kelly J doesn't have to worry about whether or not she's invited anywhere. The others do. And I find that aspect of the marketplace of ideas hilarious. So what I think we need to do is encourage them to come down on one side or another. They won't do, of course, which will lead to all sorts of dreadful complications in their life. Oh dear, what a shame. Never mind. Still, time for popcorn, I think. I will keep you updated about this, simply because I love things like this. I love it when actual debate breaks out amongst the right wingers because they can't deal with it. For these people that say, oh, it's vitally important, of course we discuss everything, and there's vast numbers of different yes, we're always having discussions about things. No, you always agree. And it's lovely to see you disagree, especially when potentially there's all those future earnings involved. Oh, the pressure. Oh, it must be dreadful. Oh, I'm loving it. More, please. Thank you very much. Anyway, do have a lovely Thursday. Stay dry. I'm going to have a very, very unhappy pussycat. I can sense that today. Anyway, yeah, Thursday. Take care.